Hey everybody, how's it going? In today's video, let's check out the bonus series, this brand new Lotus Evija X that I just won through the track day event. And the bonus series is called Electrifying Hypercars. Of course, you'll find it in Road Collections section under the subheading Season 4, since it is a Season 4 car, right? And the series does feature two other cars, namely Porsche 918 Weissach package and the road legal version of Evija, and of course the track version prototype that we are talking about here, Evija X. So, all right, electrifying hypercars. Step on that pedal to accelerate into the electric world. Now, 918 Spyder is a hybrid, while the two Evijas are fully electric, right? So, and also what year was 918 Spyder? That's like 10 years ago, wasn't it? So, yeah, that car is, as much as I love that car, it is a bit out of its league in this group of cars. So we'll see how it fares as we make some progress a little later on in my career here. Anyway, numbers, right? So total rewards in this series, there are 71 gold to be won, 71,000 racing dollars to go along. First 25% completion gets you 9 gold and 9,000 racing dollars, as you can see here. Next tier, the 50% completion gets you additional 14 gold and 14,000 racing dollars. And the 75% completion gets you another 19 gold and 19,000 racing dollars. And 100% completion rewards you the remaining 29 gold and 29,000 racing dollars. Now, in order to complete that 100%, you do need, first of all, Evija X. That's the only car that can meet that PR requirement. Plus, this is the car that's really the series that is featuring that car, right? So the other two are just there for variety, I suppose, which I appreciate. I much rather have the more series with more cars featured rather than a bunch of, bonus series and, well, exclusive series by definition only features one car. But even in exclusive series, we race one car, but we could still have other cars to compete against. That would be nice. I don't know if that's too much to implement into the game. I don't know, but that would be nice. Short of adding more new circuits to the game, I think that would, just adding more cars to already existing series, it would kind of, I don't know, spice up the game a little bit. Yeah. So anyway, speaking of Evija X, to meet that PR requirement for 100% completion here, which is 104.4, it's gonna cost, total upgrade cost is gonna be 910 gold and some 3 million and change racing dollars. So that is, if you won the car like I did through the track day event, ASCENSION. If you haven't checked my playthrough videos, I'll put the link so you can go check it out. But anyway, back to this video. If you won the car, you already spent like 525 gold to meet the PR requirement there. So that would mean you have to spend additional 385 gold to 100% complete and win back, I guess, 29 extra gold. Because with the PR requirement that was needed to win the car, you can complete 75% completion. In fact, there's, I believe, only one race, the last tier, tier 20. The final cup is the only one that you're not going to be able to do, assuming that you own the other two cars, right? So, yeah, I will wait for upgrade discount. So let's say if they have like 40% discount, then instead of spending 385 extra gold, I'll be spending more like under 200 for sure, right? Like more like 190-ish gold, which still we're not coming out net positive, but that's you know, better, right? So that's my recommendation generally. If you are thinking about, unless you really love this car and you have to do 100% completion right away, just so you know, the cost is generally the way you accumulate your resources in the game is based on your patience, how much you're willing to put up with, right? So, more you can delay of purchasing things in game until essentially better discounts or discounts in general comes around is the way to go. Anyway, yeah. So let's see. And in terms of the how far you need to go, because this is bonus series, unlike exclusive series, which you can pretty much bounce around any tier, any race at any point, because everything's unlocked. You have to make progress to unlock events here, right? So the first 25% completion requires you to complete like 14 events. So there are 51 total events, 48 trophy events, and 3 time trials. Of course, each time trial featuring the 3 car that's featured in this series, right? 1 per time trial as usual. So first one, of course, the lower ranked car, Porsche 918 Spyder Weissach package. And then the next time trial with the road legal Evija. And the final one, the prototype Evija X, right? And then, of course, there's accompanying showcase tier that has 2 trophy events, right? So yeah, so that is why you get the 20 tiers and you get 51 events total, 48 trophy events, 3 time trials, right? So if you complete 14 events, so that could be if you're just going from left to right, completing every event as they come, sort of in the order, then that would mean like at tier 6, you would get your 25% completion, since there'll be like 13 gold trophies plus 1 time trial from the Weissach package, the Porsche time trial. And that means PR 74.3 is what's required to complete that. And then 50% completion, you will have to get up to tier 11, 27 events, so 25 trophies and 2 time trials. And that would mean you need to have your car, one of the cars, PR up to 79.9. And mind you, both Evijas start at base PR above that. Like Evija, the non-prototype version, starts at 83.8, and the prototype Evija X starts at 88.5. So well above what's required to, make a pretty far progress in this series, right? Because we're talking 50% with no upgrades. 918 Spyder, however, max PR is 89.4. So that's a different story, but of course that car is much more affordable, shall we say? Since, the car itself costs less, and what was a special event for the car? Lions of Leipzig? That was a fun little event that they introduced the first time they introduced the Porsche test track in the game, if I remember correctly. And they had a little like guided video tour of how to race on that track, all 3 track variants. So that was pretty cool. I wish they still do that in the game. Just makes, everything feel a little bit more official. You know, just my thought. Oh, and then of course, when they first introduced Le Mans, and this is sort of off topic, but you know, just in generally speaking about the status of the game, I'm just thinking like it would be kind of nice to have like a little video introduction. Like if you remember when they first, it's still in the game. If you guys, most of you guys probably, if you've been playing the game for a while, you've already done the special event in the Legends section. What was it called? Is that called the Road to Le Mans? The one that features the original 2014 Le Mans champion, the Porsche 919 hybrid. The first one, right? Not the 2015 version, or certainly not the Evo, you know, like out of this world car. But yeah, that one, if you remember, has a nice little historic like footages and stuff at the beginning of the event, which is cool. I don't know. I think it'll be kind of fun way to keep the players engaged, you know. So anyway, now back to the video here, where the topic that we're discussing. So enough with the 50% and the 75% completion, which is something that you should be able to do if you won this Evija X, the featured car, through track day event, because your PR is going to be high enough. You're going to need PR 89.7, and we're talking tier 17. So 41 events total, 38 trophy events, 3 time trials at this point for that 19 additional gold. So up to this point, up to 75% completion, basically you win 42 gold. So without spending any additional gold after you won the car, right? So that's, you know, not bad. I mean, that's about what you expect from these series, right? And then, of course, 100% completion. You need PR 104.4. And that is, yeah, you pretty much have to max out every category of upgrades available on the car, except for engine. You only need up to 3 stage upgrades, which is how we won the car, on at least in that category of the upgrades, right? So, yeah, so those are some quick numbers rundown. And now let's actually have a look at the series itself, what types of events to expect in this series. We got Speed Record at Daytona Road Course, Speed Snap at Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix Circuit, and the first cup is going to be at Lime Rock Park West Circuit, and it's going to be a 2-lap cup at dawn. And as you can see, you know, this car does not have a headlamp, right? So why are we racing in the darkness? Come on, guys. I mean, we have choice to not drive in the dark by choosing the other 2 cars featured in this series, but that is kind of annoying. Come on. Like, yeah, Lime Rock Park at dawn is not like, I mean, it's not as dark as, let's say, those European circuit dawn, but it's, yeah, for my old eyes, I find that it's a little straining. So don't expect me to see, don't expect to see me racing this car on this race. At least that's what I'm gonna say for now. We'll see how it goes. But while we're in this view, let's check out the cars featured here. Porsche 918 Spyder Weissach package. So as I said, base PR starts at 70.4 and maxed out, as you can see, 89.5. And to max out this car, it does cost you 892 gold. So my strategy for upgrading any of these cars is wait for those upgrade discount, which is how I did it. So at this point, I don't remember how much I spent, but yeah. And Evija, of course, when you max it out, base PR starts at 83.8, maxes out at 99.4, as you can see here. And this one will cost you 1,484. Actually, maxing out both Evija and Evija X, the upgrade cost is essentially identical. They're both, each one's gonna cost you 1,485 gold if you wanna, fully go all out. And both cars do feature an exclusive series. But Evija X in my garage, not fully upgraded, as I said, because it's rather pricey. 1,400. Yeah, that's like another 900 gold that I gotta spend to max out this car. No thank you. I'll wait till discount comes around, because they do, Anyway, so these are 3 cars. Now let's compare some specs, shall we? I know it's not a fair comparison because the Evija X is not fully upgraded, but I suspect most of you guys have garages that look similar to this in this series. So anyway, 918 Spyder. Yeah, this is gonna be slow, isn't it? Top speed 375, acceleration of 2.12 seconds, which is not slow by any standard. It's only slower in this grid, right? Because if you compare to Evija, top speed 383 with the acceleration of 1.98 seconds. So yeah, and because 918 is not fully electric, the things about fully electric cars in the game, when they say top speed of 383, they mean 383. The car will actually hit that number. If you're just not going uphill or something, but just kind of driving flat out, it'll get there. Anytime gasoline is involved, the spec and real world top speed, there's some discrepancy. Let's just put it that way. I don't ever remember this car hitting 375 kph as top speed, unless if you consider reverse spa as an option. And if you don't know what a reverse spa is, well, let me tell you. This back when they used to have team events. One of the more popular team events was a top speed event. And they start putting some extra, what would you call it, conditions on that top speed event to essentially prevent the racers from doing what we were doing, which was like, they were, I think, the original intention of the event was just, racing normal, like a normal person in real world, and trying to hit the top speed. But, this is a game, and we're trying to, push whatever we can to get higher speed. And what gave us the highest speed, if the circuit's available, if the spa circuit is available for a particular car that has to do that race, basically, you go up to Lecon, the top of the hill, right? And head backwards towards Eau Rouge, right? So that big drop, right, gives us insane amount of acceleration. I mean, just coming down, right? The Canal Straight is already downhill. And then when we have the big drop into the Eau Rouge, yeah, the cars will often exceed the top speed on the spec. So we'll be getting some absurd high speed. It was tricky, but it's like an entirely different game. But anyway, point being, the spec on the gasoline cars, whether it's hybrid or just pure like V6, V6. Do we have V6 cars in this game? V8, V12, you name it. We're never gonna hit that number unless you do one of those. What in a real world would be considered psychotic, because you'll kill yourself, because at the end of the hill, you smash into a wall. And you find out how fast you went because you just recorded yourself doing it. Anyway, so yeah, like the 4 sort of the pillars of specs, right? Yeah, 918 just comes behind on every spec. You know, lower grip, longer braking distance, ever so slightly. Well, actually, that's gonna make a significant difference. 2.12 second versus 1.98, sub 2 second acceleration, right? Anyway, Evija, so more fairer comparison would be the road legal Evija versus the Evija X, even though my Evija X is not fully upgraded. But already you can tell, except for the top speed, which is fairly close. It's only off by 3 kph, but the acceleration is significantly improved already. I mean, this is like 1.69 seconds, so that's pretty quick. And one of the main difference, of course, is the braking distance. 24.1 meters for Evija X versus 25.3 meters. Doesn't seem like much, but when you experience the Evija in the game, you know you have to start braking pretty early on when you're heading into a corner of any kind, right? Versus Evija X, right now we have, I mean, the grip is just ever so slightly lower than maxed out Evija, but I feel like Evija X, you can actually brake later, and that is all thanks to that ever so slightly improved braking distance that seemingly makes a big difference. So what do you know? So yeah, so those are some spec comparison on these three cars. And let's come back to the events. Let's talk about events. All right, so that was tier 1. Let's head on over to tier 2. We got Autocross at Suzuka Grand Prix, Endurance at Spa. Speaking of Spa, there you go. And the Cup at Laguna Seca. PR73 is required, and it's going to be a 2-lap cup. So 918 Spyder, the Porsche, is the one that's going to need some upgrades, but not a whole lot. All right, tier 3. We got head-to-head and mountain panorama. Hunter at Porsche Test Track, long on-road circuit. And the Cup at Circuit of the Americas National Circuit. PR 74.3 required for 3-lap cup here. By the way, later on in this, sort of like the final quadrant of this series, we will see some longer races, which is kind of nice. It's nice to have variety, right? You know, I mean, these cars, you know, we want it. I want to take it out for a spin, you know, and have some reasonable length races, right? Instead of just like 1-lap cup, 2-lap cup, you know. So, all right. And then tier 4 is the first showcase tier. This one featuring Porsche 918 Spyder Weissach package. We got Elimination at Lime Rock Park, South Circuit. South Circuit, of course, is the one with the sharp chicane, right? The S. That's a good way to remember. South Circuit with the S chicane, right? As opposed to West Circuit with the bus stop. And the road circuit that just kind of skips all that and just, you know, just go, right? Fastest one out of the group. But anyway, this one's going to be at South Circuit. And the Cup at the Brickyard, Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. And because it is a showcase tier, there's no PR. And it'll be a 3-lap cup. The accompanying time trial will take place at Dubai International Circuit. And minute 4. How did they do that? You notice the PR is not written for the top rank racer. I have a feeling that might be a hacked version, because you're not going to see like 5-second gap between P1 and P2 in these time trials. And currently, who's listed as P2? Stewart? I know that guy. He's good. Yeah, I would go by his number. Minute 9. That is quick. Yikes. Anyway, next tier, tier 6. We got speed record at Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix circuit, speed snap at Catalunya Grand Prix, and Daytona Motorcycle Course, PR 77.6 required for 3-lap cup here. And yeah, if you're like just racing, let me rephrase this. If you don't own the Porsche 918, then you're gonna have to complete that event to get to the next tier to actually claim. Well, I think you need to do the cup in order to claim the first 25% completion. So your PR requirement would be a little bit higher, but the car, you know, like Weissach package is easy to win. So hopefully you already have it in your garage, but otherwise it's not that big of a deal because Evija X or Evija, your base PR is already high enough. It's kind of a moot point. All right, moving on. Tier 7, we got autocross at Red Bull Ring National Circuit, head-to-head at Suzuka East, and cup at Nürburgring Grand Prix. PR 78.7 required for this 3-lap cup. And moving on. Tier 8, Hunter at Silverstone International, elimination at Dubai Grand Prix, and the cup at Catalunya National, PR 79.9 required for 4-lap cup. Yeah, Catalunya National, pretty quick circuit, not too bad. And that takes us to the second showcase tier, this one featuring the road legal Evija. All right, so we got autocross at Laguna Seca, and the cup is going to take place at Spielberg's Red Bull Ring Grand Prix circuit. 6 laps. That's a pretty decent number of laps at the Grand Prix circuit. Not bad. And thankfully, this car does have headlamps, so it shouldn't be too bad, even though it's dawn. All right, and the Evija time trial will take place at Mount Panorama. And yeah, if you look at the top rank, this guy never has, it never shows the PR, so it's always a little sus, you know. But minute 16, at least he's keeping this one a little bit closer. But I am little doubtful that is a legit number. It's a good chance that is a hacked account. All right, moving on. Tier 11, we got endurance at Monza Road Course, speed snap at Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course, and the cup at Melbourne. PR 79.9 is required, and it's gonna be an 8-lap cup, so decent length. I mean, the Melbourne is not, I would consider Melbourne kind of a medium length. You know, it's a city circuit, so you cannot really go as fast. The circuit length isn't terribly long, but just because, you know, there's no like real long straight that you can really like let the car just go, you know. So it'll take a little bit longer, let's just put it that way. All right, takes us to, oh, by the way, so that would be the 50% completion in the previous tier, right? And I think tier 8 and 11 has both same PR requirement, right? Yeah, 79.9. So you know how that goes. All right, tier 12, elimination at Silverstone Bridge Grand Prix. Speed record at Nürburgring Sprint Circuit. Nürburgring in the morning is very dark also. So, my request to fellow racers, please don't take Evija X on this if you don't have to, because that makes it just, that spells trouble for everybody. Well, maybe it's not that bad, but yeah, that's just annoying, in my opinion. All right, Tier 12 Cup takes place at Spa. PR 85.7 required for this 4-lap cup. So now we're beginning to see, you know, pretty lengthy race. And if I remember correctly, it's only gonna get longer. We start to get a bit longer races towards this like second half, I guess. I called it like last quadrant, but maybe like the second half. Alright, so tier 13, we got head-to-head at Laguna Seca, Autocross at Nürburgring Grand Prix, another morning event. And the Cup at Hockenheim Grand Prix is gonna be in the dark. Night race, PR 89.7. And oh my goodness, it's gonna be 6 laps of darkness. Here, let me show you what it looks like with Evija X. I'm not gonna actually race, but just to show you. It's not one of the well-lit circuit, let's say like American circuits, like NASCAR circuits, because NASCARs don't have headlamps either. But, you know, they do the race at nighttime all the time, you know. So the circuit itself is very well lit, but, you know, like look at this. Okay, maybe it's not so bad, at least at the beginning. But I know I said I wasn't gonna race. You know what? The fact that we got a ginormous wing with the bright yellow, essentially tail, right? Maybe that helps. Okay, but look at this. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. It's like black in black. Who came up with this idea of putting a cup race featuring a car without headlamps at nighttime in a circuit that doesn't really have much of a, you know, illumination, let's just say. So, there's my gripe. Alright, moving on. The last showcase tier featuring the prototype Lotus Evija X. We got Speed Snap at Melbourne. Sunset, that's no problem. And the Cup as Suzuka Grand Prix. How many laps? 6 laps. That's a decent length at Suzuka Grand Prix. So that should be lots of fun. And the Evija X time trial takes place at the Brickyard Road Course. And okay, 53 seconds. Now we have 2 at the top. I have a feeling, so one of the reasons how your PR may not show is you put all the upgrades on the car and do the time trial. And if you restore the game by doing the cloud restore with a lower PR that you had prior to, you know, doing the time trial, then the PR disappears. Basically, they're basically showing you, kind of indicating like, yeah, you didn't use the car that you're currently racing that's in the garage. You temporarily put the upgrades on just to do the time trial, and then you rolled it back. That's another reason why sometimes the PR doesn't show for legit racers. So that is possible. Especially when the number is fairly close. But the first one, yeah, I mean, everybody was fully upgraded, and for somebody to come out full 5 seconds ahead, yeah, that is very sus. At this level, nah, I don't buy that. Anyway, on to tier 16, we got Endurance at Hockenheim. They love doing night race at Hockenheim, don't they? But now that we've seen that the ginormous yellow wing and the tail does kind of help with the visibility, so you know what? Maybe I should just put it to rest. I don't know. I have a hard time with that. Anyway, let's say if you race in different view. See, I can always come back to it. It's gonna be rough. You know what? I'm gonna just, for the sake of I'm gonna say science. It's not science, but just what if you race in hood view? Right? I'm not a fan. It's too dark for me. My old eyes cannot handle it. Sorry. And if you race in the cockpit view, yeah, good luck to you. The fact that there is a brighter screen inside of the car than on the outside, that contrast alone You know what? I'll put my thumb over the screen so the contrast doesn't bother me. See the thing, the distance that you have to go to make this work? Come on. So yes, I am back to my gripes. What grinds my gears? There you go. Anyway, tier 16. Right, Endurance said Darkness, in Darkness, Hockenheim Night Race Grand Prix Circuit. Head-to-head at Red Bull Ring, afternoon, National Circuit, and the cup is going to be at Silverstone Grand Prix, PR 89.7 required, and it's going to be a 6-lap cup. So that's pretty good race. And then tier 17, yes, your 75% completion tier, but you don't necessarily have to do the cup to complete the 75%. But once again, you know, like if you won the car, your PR is good enough to get past this one. Anyway, and in terms of like the 3 cars that's able to race, like by the time you get to the tier 16, this PR 89.7, where Porsche falls off, because even maxed out, we don't quite meet the PR requirement. So, yeah, up till, let's say, tier 3, this one as well, right? So, tier 12 is gonna be the final cup race that you can complete with the Porsche. But past that point, you'll have to use one of the other cars to do it, and then once you won, then the PR requirement goes away. So you can race 918 if you want some extra challenge. Anyway, back to tier 17, we got speed record at Suzuka West, speed snap at Lime Rock Park West Circuit, night race. Lime Rock Park is American circuits generally are better lit. So yeah, I know I kind of complained about Lime Rock Park at the beginning of the video, but yeah, I would take that back. American circuit, better lit. European circuits, not so well. So yeah. Excuse me. Anyway, tier 17 cup, it's gonna take place at Mount Panorama. Morning race, PR 95.3 required. And yeah, either of the Evias good to go. 7 laps, so that's a decent length race. And yeah, Australian morning is relatively well. There's plenty of sun, maybe a little hazy, but you know, visibility isn't terribly affected, so I'm good with that. And tier 18, we got Hunter at Catalunya Grand Prix, followed by Endurance at Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course, and the Cup at Dubai Grand Prix, PR 98.4 required, and it's gonna be a 6-lap Cup. So once again, decent number of laps at a legit Grand Prix circuit. There we go. And the tier 19, elimination at Nürburgring Grand Prix, speed record at Lime Rock Park night race, and it's going to be a road course, followed by the Cup at Monza road course, PR 101.2, which Evija, the road legal version, obviously it doesn't go above 100 even when it's maxed out, the PR wise, but the way we won Evija X, we're still good to go on this one. So 8 laps, so we'll be able to do 8-lap cup race at Monza with Evija X, which is kind of nice. And then that leaves just one final tier, tier 20, where we got Autocross at Hockenheim Grand Prix, Endurance at Circuit of the Americas National Circuit, and the Cup at the Porsche Test Track Long On-Road Circuit, and that is the one that has the 104.4 PR requirement. It's a 10-lap cup, but I'm okay not putting more upgrades on at a full price of another just shy of 400 gold. Nah, I'm good. But 10 lap cup would be fun once you know, upgrade discount rolls around. But anyway, this video ended up being a bit longer than I had originally planned, since I was kind of yapping about other somewhat on a tangent, unrelated topics, but in my head they were somehow related. You understand, right? Anyway, that will do it for this video. Thanks for sticking around till the end. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, take care.